Faust by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, a literary and philosophical masterpiece. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's Faust stands as one of the most profound and ambitious works in Western literature. Written over the course of nearly 60 years, it is a monumental dramatic poem that reflects Goethe's vast intellectual curiosity and artistic genius. Combining elements of classical tragedy, Christian theology, romanticism, and Enlightenment thought, Faust transcends genre and era to explore timeless questions about the human condition, morality, and the pursuit of meaning. Historical and literary background. Faust was published in two parts, Faust Part 1s in 1808 and Faust Part 2 posthumously in 1832. The legend of Faust predates Goethe and had circulated in German folklore for centuries. It tells the story of a scholar who makes a pact with the devil in exchange for unlimited knowledge and pleasure. Goethe, however, elevated this tale into a philosophical and artistic exploration of human striving. The Enlightenment, Romanticism, and the scientific revolution shaped Goethe's intellectual world. His version of the Faust story does not simply condemn ambition or curiosity, but examines them as essential components of the human spirit. Through Faust, Goethe addresses the complexities of desire, the duality of man, and the quest for transcendence. 2. Plot summary. Faust Part 1. The story begins with Heinrich Faust, a highly learned scholar who feels disillusioned by the limits of human knowledge and the futility of academic life. Despite his extensive studies in theology, philosophy, medicine, and law, he finds himself spiritually empty and suicidal. In his despair, he calls upon dark forces for help. Mephistopheles, a representative of the devil, appears and offers Faust a pact. He will serve Faust on earth, granting him pleasure and knowledge. But in exchange, Faust will serve Mephistopheles in the afterlife if he ever declares himself satisfied. Faust agrees and signs the pact with his blood. With Mephistopheles as his guide, Faust rejuvenates and experiences the pleasures of youth. He falls in love with a beautiful young woman named Gretchen. Margaret seduces her and sets off a chain of tragic events. Gretchen's mother dies from a sleeping potion Faust gives her. Her brother is killed in a duel with Faust, and Gretchen becomes pregnant and is eventually driven to madness. In prison for killing her infant, Gretchen is visited by Faust and Mephistopheles, but she refuses to escape with them, choosing to accept her punishment. At the end of Part 1, her soul is saved by divine grace, a moment that foreshadows the redemptive themes of Part 2. Faust Part 2. Part 2 is far more allegorical and philosophical, diverging significantly in tone and structure from Part 1. It spans a vast range of settings, from imperial courts to mythological realms. Faust becomes involved in political, artistic, and economic enterprises. He conjures the spirit of Helen of Troy, marries her in a symbolic union of classical beauty and modern striving, and fathers a child who dies tragically. In his old age, Faust turns to social projects, attempting to reclaim land from the sea for human settlement. As he approaches death, he finally finds a moment of true contentment, imagining a free society flourishing on the land he helped create. At that moment, Mephistopheles claims his soul, but angels intervene and carry Faust to heaven, revealing that salvation is possible through striving and divine grace. Third, major themes. 1. The eternal striving of humanity. Goethe's Faust embodies the romantic ideal of Streben, unceasing striving. Unlike traditional Christian morality tales that warn against ambition and desire, Goethe portrays these traits as essential to human progress. Faust's quest is not inherently evil. It becomes destructive only when driven by selfishness or ignorance. Ultimately, it is Faust's never-ending pursuit of purpose and meaning that justifies his salvation. 2. The duality of human nature. The character of Faust contains profound contradictions. He is both noble and selfish, brilliant and misguided, compassionate and cruel. Goethe portrays humanity as inherently complex, torn between reason and emotion, intellect and instinct. Mephistopheles, too, is a paradoxical figure, cynical, witty, and at times helpful. Goethe's nuanced portrayal avoids simplistic moral dichotomies. 3. Knowledge and responsibility. Faust's dissatisfaction with conventional knowledge drives the narrative. He rejects the academic world for experiential understanding, but his quest for experience leads to moral and emotional devastation, particularly for Gretchen. Goethe raises the question, can knowledge be pursued without ethical consequences? The answer is complex, suggesting that wisdom must be accompanied by responsibility. 4. Redemption and salvation. While Faust's pact with the devil suggests a damnation narrative, Goethe's vision is ultimately redemptive. Gretchen, despite her sins, is saved through penitence and divine mercy. Faust, though flawed, is redeemed not for his successes, but for his persistent striving toward a greater ideal. The ending reflects a Christian Platonic belief in the possibility of salvation through transformation. Symbolism and allegory. 1. Mephistopheles. As a devilish figure, Mephistopheles is both tempter and teacher. He represents the skeptical, negating force of reason and mockery. However, he also inadvertently furthers Faust's spiritual development, making him a necessary antagonist. Goethe reimagines the devil not as pure evil, but as a part of a larger divine order. 2. The poodle and the pact. The poodle that transforms into Mephistopheles symbolizes hidden evil and the deceptive nature of appearances. The blood pact with the devil is a potent symbol of human compromise and the dangers of unchecked desire. Sir 3. Helen of Troy. Helen symbolizes ideal beauty and classical perfection. Faust's union with her reflects the romantic desire to reconcile classical ideals with modern aspirations. Their doomed love suggests the impossibility of this synthesis in the material world. Chart 4. The Land Reclamation Project. Faust's final project to reclaim land from the sea represents the Enlightenment ideal of shaping nature for human benefit. However, it also suggests the hubris of man. Yet, it is here, imagining a better world, that Faust finds peace, emphasizing Goethe's belief in progress, tempered by humility. V characters. Faust is the archetype of the modern man, restless, ambitious, and intellectually insatiable. His journey from despair to redemption embodies the struggles and triumphs of the human spirit. Mephistopheles is not a traditional villain, but a complex figure who enables Faust's transformation. His sarcastic wit and ironic detachment contrast sharply with Faust's passion. Margaret is the moral center of Part 1. Her innocence, suffering, and eventual redemption provide a counterpoint to Faust's intellectual pride. Her character illustrates the personal cost of Faust's ambitions. The angels and divine forces in Part 2 suggest a universe governed by mercy, where even flawed individuals can be redeemed through grace and perseverance. Ambics. Cultural and philosophical impact. Faust is more than a literary achievement. It is a work of immense cultural and philosophical significance. It has influenced thinkers from Hegel to Nietzsche, and artists from Berlioz to Thomas Mann. Its themes resonate with modern existentialism, psychoanalysis, and postmodernism. Goethe's treatment of human striving prefigures the existential tension between freedom and responsibility. His complex portrayal of the divine, the diabolical, and the human anticipates later explorations of morality, identity, and purpose. Moreover, Faust remains relevant in today's world of rapid technological advancement and moral ambiguity. The Faustian bargain has become a metaphor for the costs of progress and the perils of sacrificing ethics for achievement. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe's Faust is a masterwork that defies easy categorization. It is at once a tragedy, a philosophical inquiry, a theological reflection, and an artistic tour de force. By reimagining an old legend in a profoundly human and modern light, Goethe created a work that continues to challenge and inspire. Through Faust's journey, readers confront the essential questions of existence. What is the purpose of life? Can we ever be truly fulfilled? Is redemption possible for a flawed humanity? In offering no simple answers, Faust remains endlessly rich and enduringly relevant.